A bank manager mocked a single dad's $6,000 bid, then he destroyed their $36 million project. The laughter echoed through the bank lobby as a worn envelope landed on the polished conference table. Inside was a certified check for exactly $6,000, every dollar a struggling single father had managed to save after years of sacrifice. The bank manager smirked, executives laughed, and someone whispered that it wasn't even worth discussing. But before that humiliating day was over, the man they mocked would expose a flaw that would bring their $36 million dream project crashing to the ground. Before we continue, if you believe kindness should always be stronger than pride and that everyone deserves a second chance, please like this video, comment where you're watching from, share this story with someone who believes in hope, and subscribe to Kindness Echoes. Your support helps us bring more inspiring stories to life. Ethan Carter had never imagined his life would shrink to counting every dollar. After losing his wife to a sudden illness 3 years earlier, he became both mother and father to his 8-year-old daughter, Lily. Every morning began before sunrise as he packed lunches, dropped Lily at school, and spent long hours working as an independent civil engineer. His clothes were simple, his truck was old, and most people saw only an exhausted man trying to survive. What they never saw were the late nights spent reviewing blueprints and solving engineering problems for small construction firms that couldn't afford expensive consultants. When Ethan heard that Trustwell Bank was accepting bids from local investors for a massive riverside commercial development, he wasn't dreaming of becoming rich. He had studied the public plans and noticed something that disturbed him. The soil beneath one section of the proposed project was unstable because of an underground water channel that previous surveys had overlooked. Ethan believed the problem could be solved, but nobody seemed interested in listening to someone without a prestigious title. The only way to gain access to the planning committee was by becoming a registered minor investor. That required a minimum investment of $6,000. Those $6,000 represented everything Ethan had saved for years. It was meant for Lily's education, yet he believed risking it now could protect countless families and businesses later. Carrying the check into the bank felt like carrying his future in his hands. The conference room fell silent when Ethan introduced himself, but the silence quickly turned into amusement. The bank manager glanced at the small investment amount and dismissed him with a smile filled with arrogance. Several executives chuckled openly, convinced that someone investing only $6,000 had nothing valuable to contribute to a project worth $36 million. Ethan tried explaining that he needed only a few minutes to discuss a structural concern, but nobody wanted to hear him. Security politely escorted him out while laughter followed behind. Walking across the parking lot, Ethan felt humiliation burning inside him. Yet as he looked at the photograph of Lily taped inside his wallet, he realized giving up would be far more painful than being embarrassed. Instead of accepting defeat, he contacted the city's independent building safety office and submitted a detailed engineering report he had spent months preparing. For nearly 2 weeks, nothing happened. Ethan returned to work, believing his report had disappeared into another pile of ignored paperwork. Then one rainy morning, inspectors arrived unexpectedly at the construction site. Their independent geological testing confirmed every warning Ethan had written. Beneath the planned foundation lay a hidden underground water flow capable of causing severe structural movement. If construction had continued, the completed complex could eventually have suffered catastrophic foundation failure. The news spread rapidly. Construction stopped immediately. Investors panicked. Engineers were forced back to their drawing boards. Millions of dollars had already been committed, yet continuing without redesigning the foundation would have placed thousands of future workers and visitors in danger. The entire $36 million project had to be suspended. The same executives who laughed at Ethan suddenly searched for the men they had ignored. The bank manager who had mocked his tiny investment now stood before him with a completely different expression. This time, there was no laughter. Only regret. Independent investigators later praised Ethan's report for preventing what could have become one of the region's most expensive engineering disasters. Rather than demanding revenge, Ethan agreed to help redesign the project safely. His only condition was simple: every engineer, contractor, and investor would be judged by the quality of their ideas instead of the size of their bank account. Months later, the redesigned project was completed successfully with stronger foundations and improved safety standards. Ethan's professional reputation transformed overnight. Consulting firms sought his expertise, universities invited him to speak, and Lily proudly watched her father receive an award for outstanding public service. The $6,000 that once made people laugh became the investment that protected millions and saved countless lives. If this story touched your heart, please don't scroll away. Like this video, share it with someone who needs encouragement today, and subscribe to Kindness Echoes for more unforgettable stories of hope and resilience. Special request, tell us in the comments, what would you have done if you were standing in that conference room watching Ethan being mocked? Sometimes the smallest voice carries the biggest truth. Sometimes the poorest person in the room holds the richest wisdom. And sometimes, the greatest victory doesn't come from proving people wrong, it comes from choosing integrity when the world chooses arrogance. Ethan never wanted revenge. He only wanted someone to listen. In the end, that quiet determination didn't just save a project. It reminded everyone that true value is measured not by the size of an investment, but by the courage behind it.